Okay, I think we're back. I think we are back. But you have now made your way, or y'all, what were you saying before we got cut out?
We're moving toward the cabin, and then carrying Novak.
Okay.
Abandoned shelter is better than no shelter.
But I'm going to approach it carefully, just in case there is somebody in it.
Okay, roll me a stealth check. Nobody seems to notice you.
All right, I'm going to put Big Black down, obviously. Out the door, slowly walk inside.
Give me just a second.
All right.
Okay, so I'm about to drop your tokens on the map. Did it change for everybody?
Yeah, it's changed.
Okay, can you move your tokens?
No. I can't. I don't know.
I cannot. Right.
How about now?
I can't. How about now?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. What happened was I put y'all on the map later. My bad. But go ahead and move your tokens where you think y'all would be.
I'm going to kind of peek inside a little bit. Say hello.
Okay, you peek in and you say hello. And as you look in, Langston, you notice four large frost burned dead bodies. And as you say hello, one of them turns and looks at you and just goes,
Well, maybe we should have knocked, eh?
I would like you to now roll initiative.
Make sure you click your token before rolling initiative. I have to say it before you.
You did.
I'm looking at how to roll initiative.
Click your token, and then you just click initiative on your character sheet.
So I click the token, and then I click initiative on the character sheet. You can just give me a 7. I mean, that's what I would have rolled.
What's that, Langston?
It would have been a total of 7 is what I rolled.
Okay.
well, that's funny. Just like, hi guys, how you doing? Then apparently I get my foot stuck.
Hey, Novak.
Okay, Novak, Langston, I'm assuming you're going to let everybody know, and Olabella will let Novak know.
Like, undead.
Okay, so Novak, what do you do?
Okay. Oh, hold on. I just lost connection there for a second to the Roll20 thing.
DM in the live stream, instead of our icons, it's like a pop out. Oh, there it is.
I'm realizing that I got to be very careful with where I place things for Roll20 right now, because I thought I was being clever with the way I set stuff up. I was not. Also, is Zeta still talking in the message?
No. Langston said that if he wants to join, we are on. He has not said anything else.
Okay, so Novak.
Okay. Just one other thing to make harder for you, however you want to do it. My familiar will be acting in the fight as well. The rules say that it needs to roll initiative by itself. It rolled a 20, but I don't know how to add initiative to an NPC like that. Do you just want to have it act on my turn? I
now have it in there.
Awesome. Okay. I'm right around that corner. Can I peek in around that corner and see one of the fiery zombies? Or, I'm sorry, ice zombies?
Yeah, as you look in, you can see and the colloquial term for them is just hungry dead. They're those that died out at sea or died and weren't buried properly. But as you look in, you can definitely see this one, and you can mostly see that one from your vantage point at the corner.
Okay. For the moment, Dr. Hopkins will be moving with me, but we'll get to that whenever he gets to it. Novak is simply going to take a 5-foot step this way, and let's just toss out a firebolt, see what happens.
Roll to firebolt. Ooh, 11's gonna miss.
All right then. In that case, Novak is going to back up. That was 5-foot movement. 10, 15, 20. We get back there. And let me take a look at the spell here. Yeah, this is it's a bonus action. I already cast a cantrip, so I can do this. Novak is going to he's going to reach into his component pouch, and he's going to pull out a hot pepper, and he's going to shove it into the rabbit.
You just did what I think you did, didn't you?
I fed my rabbit a hot pepper. There may have been spells and incantations that went along with that.
As long as you mark off the slot, cool.
Okay, then that ends my turn.
Okay, with that, they are going to move 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15, 20.
seen a dog.
Okay, so they all kind of just they shamble-amble up. And the first one is going to take a swing at Langston. A 23.
23? Yeah, he definitely did.
That's 7 piercing. The next one is going to swing a short sword at Olabella. A 14.
Who?
Olabella.
Nope.
All right, the one behind it is going to try to stab at you, Langston, but there's a wall in the way. So you just see a sword come through the wall that's between the two doors. And one more is going to take a shot at Olabella. And breaks its bow. You just hear a stick snap and you just hear, oh! Dr. Hopkins.
Well, Dr. Hopkins will use his move action to move to about, I think that is a good enough position.
Okay.
All right, and then Obella, you're the closest, so you're probably the biggest view of it. You just see a bunny that is slightly tinted red. Steam leaking out of its large ears. It opens its mouth and casts Dragon's Breath.
Okay, now, when you use Dragon's Breath, what is the range of the attack?
Dragon's Breath is a 15-foot cone. Each character in the area will need to make a dexterity saving throw. Let me see. Novak's dexterity saving throw is 13.
So Langston and all three of those hungry dead.
No, I'm trying to like have it go at angles, and hits the first hungry dead, and it hits the other two. Sort of. Is that not possible from this angle?
Saying from this angle there's a 5, and then to get that one of those dead, you'd also still have to get Langston.
Well, I don't want to burn Langston with 3d6 fire damage.
That might wipe me out.
Yeah, so...
But what size is your familiar? He's a it's a bunny, right?
Yeah, it's a tiny creature.
I think I could allow that it would hop between Olabella's legs.
Okay. Alright, well, if it can occupy Olabella's square, then we could blow it directly down the hall.
Yep.
Alright, it's a 15 foot, needs DC 13 dexterity saving throws.
To save, one fails.
Okay. Dragon's Breath says half damage on a successful save, full damage on another one, so... Well, if I knew how to do that. Wow, that's terrible.
The first one is not looking good. The other ones are taking decent damage.
Okay. So for the next minute, Dr. Hopkins can breathe fire like that.
Cool. Also, as a heads up, John, remind me when this game's over to show you how to put spells on your character sheet.
Well, yeah, it's the spell's on there, but all it does is you know the let me see here.
I'll put it as a weapon.
You can. I'll show you, John, how to turn it from a spell card to an attack.
It should do it automatically.
Dragon's Breath is not one of the normal spells, I think, on Roll20.
I think you gotta buy the.
Yeah. All right. Is that Dr. Hopkins' turn?
Yeah, Dr. Hopkins moved, and that's its attack action. It has a bonus action, but I don't think the familiar has anything they can do as a bonus. So it'll hop back. It's got 40 feet of movement, so it'll just hop back out of the square and get. Actually, you know what? Let's have it get right back over to where Nailback is.
All right, that skeleton will take an attack of opportunity.
Oh no! Dr. Hopkins!
But rolled a 9.
Dr. Hopkins, HP, his armor class is 12.
He missed the bunny.
The bunny has AC 12?
And base 10 with a +2 dexterity modifier.
The bunny has better AC than Harold.
Yeah, it only has 2 HP, so it all balances out.
Huh. All right.
Dexterity is what it is.
Olabella.
If I cast Thunderwave, can I make it so it shifts so it only hits these two guys and not Langston?
Nope.
Damn it.
Thunderwave always sounds so cool until you realize, wait, it's on me.
That's like most of my spells when I'm frickin' my other wizard. Undead are probably immune to, like, they probably resistant to poison. Oh, forget it. I'm just gonna attack with my scimitar.
Okay, roll for slashy slash. 19 will hit. Okay, so that is 4. That is dead.
It's 4 plus 2.
It automatically rolled the damage for the critical. So it's just a 4. But it's still enough to kill it.
Bam. As a bonus action, I'm going to. Wait, I go invisible.
You go invisible.
Yep. And I'm going to move just over here.
All right. You move right there. Langston, you've seen a bunny breathe fire, and your large furball friend just go invisible, just poof, gone.
The day on the ice. It's easy as slipping on a piece of cake. Let's do it. This is my turn?
Yep.
Alright, well, I have a question real quick. I'm the dual wield champion thing. Does dual wield do anything for me here?
What does the dual wield fighter ability do?
Dual wield fighting lets him normally whenever you're dual wielding two weapons, you don't get to add your attack bonuses to your damage on your offhand weapon. But dual wielding will let him do that.
Cool, because I keep getting it confused with the dual wielding feat.
Yeah, if he takes the dual wielding feat, then he can use normal sized weapons and not light weapons instead. So more damage.
All right, so you can make an attack with your main weapon and an attack with your offhand as a bonus action, as long as it is a light weapon.
I got you. That's what I thought. I was just double check. Well, I'm going to take my rapier right in front of me and just try to decapitate the one right in front of me.
Okay. How'd you get a -10? Like, Nate, what did you do?
Apparently I cut my own head off. We'll try it again.
Oh, no, hold on. You got something wrong on your character sheet.
Look at it.
Like, because it's giving you like a -20. I have no clue why it had a -20 on that first one.
Because I put the crit range, because I crit in the 19-20 range, and I had it set for that. Apparently that makes it -19.
You just type in 19 on your crit, but an 18 will hit.
Do I just click where it says damage type? Do I just click that on the sheet?
If you look over, like in the chat window, you can click rapier underneath where the 18 is. Boom, yeah, you just decapitate them. You pull it out, you give it a fancy flourish, and just off goes its head.
Awesome. I'm going to step up one, or 5 feet, and come at the other one with my short sword.
Okay. Dang, yeah, 25 will hit. 7. Ooh. You just cleave that one from like shoulder to just below the shoulder on the other side, like over the shoulder on the left to just below the shoulder on the right, and the upper body just slumps to the floor.
Heck yeah.
Are you going to do any more movement, Langston?
I'm going to get melee range of the other one, so he can't go anywhere.
Cool. Nilvac.
All right. I think I was going to get Dragon's Breath set up. Okay, well, looks like they cleared out most of the zombos. So I will move forward. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, 20 feet into the room.
Okay.
And then I will try another firebolt.
All right. Throw a firebolt. Ten's gonna miss.
Okay. No other bonus action spells. I will move 5 feet backwards. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, this hungry dead is going to mindlessly swing at what it thinks could be food. Because it can no longer use a bow. There's just a broken bow on the ground in front of you, Langston. Nat 20 to hit. That is 9 piercing. Who drew a card?
I had a card. I just was trying to figure out how to get rid of it.
So it gets a pretty decent stabby stab in your leg, Langston. Just like it was looking down at its bow, looked up at you, and then just stabbed you right in the leg, like above the knee. Dr. Hopkins.
Well, Dr. Hopkins has the power of the dragon's breath, but also an intelligence of 3. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And breath into that zombie.
It fails. Oh, it's gone.
Oh, it added the spell damage. Dang it, that's not what I wanted. It added +3 to that, so it actually should have been 9 damage.
Okay, it is not quite gone. You just see the little bunny come up next to you, Langston, and just, and then slowly from the fire, this unhappy undead, as now large portions of this cottage are on fire.
I want you to put my stuff in.
Dr. Hopkins, being a rabbit, does not want to be by that, so he will try to move away and probably take an attack of opportunity.
That's a 13.
That is a hit.
6 piercing.
That's a dead bunny.
Now, this is find familiar, correct?
Correct.
So he just poofs.
Are you able to bring him?
Yeah, I need a little bit of. I think I have a little bit of money I could do it with. Assuming I had materials. I don't know if I have materials for it.
We will see. Olabella, it's your go. Do you drop invisibility?
I don't have to yet.
When does your invisibility go?
Well, then I attack him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go up here and almost attack.
Okay. That'll hit. That's a dead, hungry dead. But y'all now also see where the 2 firebolts have hit in here have charred, and they might be able to put out, but where Dr. Hopkins blew fire, there is now the wood on the floors caught fire, some of the furs and other dried goods that were in this room have caught fire.
Do you have a phone for that?
I will. Neopag will run in and start casting prestidigitation to remove the fire.
All right. How much of an area can you remove fire from?
Prestidigitation says I can snuff out a small campfire.
Right, I can too with Druidcraft.
Okay. So between the 2 of y'all, we'll stay in turn order because now you're battling fire. So Langston.
Do I have a kick?
You do have a water skin.
I'm gonna pour the water skin on the closest part of the fire.
Okay, you put out a little bit, but this is like on the edge of what it just caught.
Okay.
Novak.
casting prestidigitation to remove a campfire-sized chunk of fire.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. What would have been the Hungry Dead's turn? Let me roll. It starts spreading to the south. Elsewhere, Dr. Hopkins just eats a fey carrot. Olabella.
Can you cast a cantrip at a higher level?
Nope.
Yeah. I'll try to druidcraft some of the fire out. And like, how big are the flames?
More or less what's happening is where y'all are putting it out right now, it hasn't even really gone more than really charring the top layer of the wood. But if it was left unattended, this place would just ignite and burn down.
I'm gonna also run over here and just kind of start stamping out on some of it on the ground.
Okay. Langston. The area you just put out recaught.
I'm gonna go ahead and do what Orbella's doing and just kind of try to pump some out. Maybe use it somewhere in a close. Maybe try to smother it.
Okay, you take half of that, so 1 fire damage as you start stomping it with your boot.
Noted.
Nilvac, doing the same thing?
Yeah, none of my spells are turn off fire other than prestidigitation. So Novak continues to cast prestidigitation.
Okay, for some reason that kept doing. It keeps trying to spread to the south, but y'all start containing it. And I'm going to say by Olabella's turn, you're able to put out the fire without too much more issue. This area right here is pretty charred and damaged. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Langston just shoots his longbow into the building.
I shoot the fire.
It was super effective. Fire is weak against piercing damage. But you now have access to this cottage that does seem to have some stores of food, but it's very old. And it seems like these undead that had wandered in, don't know how to open up barrels.
My search for something less than mundane.
Give me an investigation check. You find a smoked apple.
Smoked apple?
A smoked apple?
You find a smoked apple because in the room past worse things have been burned, there was a barrel of apples.
Sorry. So was Max.
Yeah, more smoked apples.
I'd like to search whatever stores that are here. I'm hoping to find incense.
Give me an investigation check. Okay, you notice that on the far end there is a small shrine. to Torm, or not Torm, is it Cord, the god of tempest and storms? My brain just decided to forget everything.
Torm is the god of justice. Cord. Cord is chaos, good, luck, strength, tempest, war. He does have a foot in the tempest area.
Okay, so that's who you find the temple to, or the shrine to. You actually do find a little bit of incense that had been left here in case someone was going to make an offering.
I assume it's up here?
Yep.
Right, I'm gathering that.
So you're taking the incense off of a god's altar. Noted.
Yep. Neilvac is going to do that.
Okay, so you find enough. You find about maybe 20, 25 gold worth of incense. You're a little disappointed. It's like it's very rich in that patchouli smell. Like this is like the very basic of basic incenses.
It'll do the job. And now I gotta go find a brazier to burn it in.
Does anybody have healing?
I do.
I have a maximum of 39 hit points, only have 13.
I will cast Cure Wounds. I think. I thought I took it. I don't know.
Did you not take cure wounds?
I have Cure Wounds and I'm clicking it, but it's not rolling. Oh, because I choose what level to cast it at. I hate that it does it. Hang on. Yeah, 10 HP back.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm going to go ahead and use 2 hit die, if that's alright.
Well, are y'all going to take a short rest, or are y'all going to try to weather it here for the night?
You know the weather here?
might as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is gonna be at the best protection that we can find for a little while. We know we've got some travel left. Why not weather the storm out here until it goes to the passes, then we can move up.
Sounds good. You want me to bar the door?
Yeah.
I'm going to bar the door best I can.
Okay, I mean, it's not hard to bar the door. It's literally you close the door and then you can put the big, crossbeam down, locking it in place. Y'all now seem to have use of the cottage for the night, and we will take a short break for now. Say maybe be back in about 5-10.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, I think we are back. Yep. So you find yourselves, you've barred yourselves in. It's pitch black in here. Well, maybe not completely. There's some light filtering in through the windows. Let me switch back to the battle map instead of watching Twitch. Okay, and there's a few windows that light's coming. Sorry, what's that?
There's candles or something.
Okay, you're able to light some candles. There's a large fire trough in the middle of the room.
So I could put a campfire in there too with the craft.
Yes. However, there is no firewood in it. The firewood was all outside of the cottage.
Novak casts dancing lights.
What do your dancing lights look like?
Let's see. Novak. Well, Novak is a stage performer. So how about a soft, pale yellow to a white? Not like fluorescent. Yeah, like a spotlight, not like fluorescent white. But, and that just sort of diffuses out through the room.
Okay. So y'all can see through here a little bit better now. Again, there's a little bit of light coming in through the very tops of the window that the snow has partially blocked. So, and the room is cold.
Cold?
It is cold in here. It's like this time of year, it's cold everywhere. Sorry, what was
Is
that?
there any firewood outside? It's really cold.
Alright, let's get back on our way.
You're not going to rest?
We could rest.
No, this is all happening before you rest.
Well, let's go ahead and get some of those barrels going and get a fire going, I guess.
Is it, you said there was windows. Can we see outside and see if there's a pile of firewood or anything?
Give me a perception check at disadvantage as you have to get lifted up to look through the top of the window.
I'm also going to look too. Is that alright?
Yep, it's a disadvantage if you're trying to look through the snow-covered windows. Okay, Nilvac, you go to look, but since no one picked you up, you're just like, I see snow. Langston and Olabella, you notice through the crack, or through the parts of the window above the snow line, or where it has piled up at the edge of this building, that the outbuilding to the west of the building, or of the cottage, has a pile of firewood sitting next to it.
I'll go get some.
Alright.
Unlock the door, but I'll go and get some.
Okay, and you go and get firewood. Nothing happens. You get a couple armfuls and bring it in so you can start a fire.
I use Druidcraft to light a campfire in the trough.
Okay. The room is filled with a amber light from the fire, as well as the dancing lights from our friend Nilvac. And it's, if you rebar the door, you seem like you have the evening.
During the evening, if there's a brazier that I can light, with the incense, I'm going to try to re-summon Dr. Hopkins.
Give me another investigation check to see if you can find a brazier or something that you would argue is close enough.
You said investigation?
Investigation, yes. Damn. So yeah, you go back up and look underneath the altar and realize it's also a cabinet, and inside there are some holy symbols that look like they can be switched out, so whatever deity was on the table could actually be switched out to just whoever was here last had put cord. And there's actually a couple braziers down in the bottom.
Well, definitely grabbing those, grabbing a brazier to use. Would like to, while I'm digging through it, just make a quick religion check to see what gods are here.
Okay. You see one for Thor, the hammer bearer, one for Gaul glitter gold. You see one for Bahamut, and you see one for Tyr.
Well, definitely putting out Gaul glitter gold.
All right, you just change out the religious symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a brazier. Whoa. Sorry. And you now are free to perform your ritual to summon back your bunny.
Okay. Any requests? As I turn to the other two. I can use your little magical bunny.
Give it spikes. Like a hedgehog.
I can color him blue if that'll help.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Novak will sit down and cast the ritual and summon Dr. Hopkins, only he's blue now. Perfect.
There you go.
Alright, and I will admonish Dr. Hopkins as his pyromaniac tendencies almost burned the building down.
He just looks at you, snuffles like a bunny does, and then just hops around.
Okay.
So are y'all going to rest for the evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you regain your spell slots and regain your HP. Nothing seems to bother the cottage that you are in. And the next morning comes. You notice that Dr. Hopkins has pulled a flaming stick or a ember of a stick from the fire and is dragging it on the floor.
Hey, what are you doing, that little guy?
Oh, that's just Dr. Hopkins. He likes the way things burn.
Well, Rabbit has problems, eh?
Oh yeah, he's messed up.
Well, can you wait to burn it down till at least we leave? That's a little messed up there, buddy. We were still asleep.
Snuffle, snuffle, chirp, chirp, snuffle, ear flop, adorable, turn and twist.
Wait, I think I can kind of talk to him with how to speak with animals. What is it? I can communicate in a limited matter with beasts and plants. They can understand the meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return. You have advantage on all charisma checks you make to influence them. Okay, that's what that is. So I can talk to him, but I can't understand if he says anything back to me unless I use speak command.
So, are you all ready to go?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Map is changed. And Dr. Hopkins will represent the party on the map. So as you go outside, the blizzard has died down, but the area is probably now almost another foot to a foot and a half deep of snow. You're going to be moving slowly, but you could probably make Geen today if you push hard and don't get lost or don't fall down in the snow, anything like that.
Yeah, and remember we ignore difficult terrain too, so.
Yep. Because y'all got snowshoes.
And I'm a ranger.
And a ranger. So, give me some survival checks.
We can get lost anyway.
So, give me a survival check. Oh, ooh, Milvac. Milvac, no.
I can't see anything. The snow's up to my eyeballs.
Cast in survival with got it. Oh, I didn't need that. Never mind, I don't need to.
Okay, so, Milvac, you're going along just fine for a moment, and then all of a sudden, even with your snowshoes on, you get to a spot and just drop down straight into the snow. Probably a good 8 feet down. There was obviously a dip here. But your companions are able to fish. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Novak, what were you saying?
It's more of a
But with your companions' rolls, they're able to fish you out and help you move along. And by the end of this day, you can see that you're not sure what time it is necessarily, but you've managed to stay on the clock or stay with the schedule you had back in Mir. So you're assuming by about would be normally 6, 7 o'clock that night, you make it to the walls of Geen. These large, 20-foot tall stone and wooden palisades. They have a large, heavy iron and wood gate with 2 turrets on either side. The gates are closed.
Knock on the gate.
No response as you knock on the gate.
I'm going to say, hello.
You see a very pale feathered Aarakocra lean over. What do you want?
Guys, out of character, I completely blanked on what I was going to say. We're in Gen to find the mayor, right? No, not the mayor.
The alderman.
Peter. Alderman. We're here on behalf of Mayor Nullstaff. We're looking for Alderman P.D. Swilden. We heard he might be in the area. We've been tracking his kidnappers. We're at Gen, right?
You're at Gen, yes.
Yeah. And we heard they're heading this direction, so we just kind of wanted to investigate a little bit. My name's Langston. The Furbolg is Olabella, and I'll let this guy here introduce himself. He's the
my trusty companion, Dr. Hopkins.
Okay. I was going to say he couldn't come in, but then he said he had a bunny, and he's a magician. So give me a second. And y'all watch the gate lift up just enough that y'all could walk in and under.
Oh, I definitely go on in.
Yep. Novak maneuvers in.
As y'all get in, you see this Aarakocra that's just solid white feathers. Looks kind of like a dove. Comes down. And he's not too much bigger than Nilvac. Want to see the bunny?
Well then let me show you. And Novak will pull off his hat, reach into his hat, and pull out Dr. Hopkins.
The Aarakocra guard just claps. And you just hear from the far side, Ollie! Ollie, we're not supposed to... Ollie. And you just see a human wearing heavy furs come walking up. All right, who are you? Who are you?
I am Nilvac the Magnificent with my trusty companion, Dr. Hopkins, the magic flame-throwing rabbit.
He just seems to take out a piece of parchment and write that down. Noted. Rest of you?
Call me Langston.
I'm Ola Bella. Most people call me Ola.
Well, we're not supposed to let anybody in this late with everything that's coming off the shelf. So I need to know why you're here, what you're doing, or, well, gonna have to lock you up.
Well, we're traveling through. We're on a quest from the mayor down in Mir. Or Mur, how do you say it? Mur. An alderman got kidnapped down there, so we were told he was brought up north, so we're just heading up trying to find him.
You got any identification, any documentation that correlates that story?
Didn't he give us a writ, Novak?
I wasn't given anything.
The mayor handed us something. We were doing stuff.
We do have to split her credit. And we have something else to get. I'll show that.
He looks, okay, very good. Ends that way. Go there and spend the night, and don't let me see you wander anywhere else through town so that I don't distrust you.
Okay.
As you walk by, give me a perception check.
So, I was reading on my Natural Explorer, and I guess we're in this place now, so it doesn't count, but when I make an intelligence or wisdom check with a skill I'm proficient in, my proficiency bonus is doubled. So I should have been doing that when I was doing perception checks out in the snow, I think. But
just remember that for future reference.
Yeah, but just regular perception. Dang, Novak. Oh, that was bad.
Langston, you and Olabella don't notice. Novak, as you go by, you notice that on his doublet over the chainmail he's wearing underneath this heavy cloak, you see Sheriff Fife. So you now know Ollie and Sheriff Fife in the city of Ginn. So, what do y'all do?
I head to the inn. I'm going to see if they are in need of a stage magician.
I guess I'm gonna do the same thing. I don't want to get thrown out, locked up.
Yep.
Okay, so y'all make it to the inn. It is the eloquent Norwal, and the image painted onto the wooden sign is a Norwal with a set of square-rimmed glasses reading a book. And as you enter in, you realize this is it looks like a one-story building from outside, but you realize this building goes down. It's actually built down into the ground and probably about 3 stories. And at the bottom, you can see that there is a open tavern floor with a stage, and that each level has rooms that can be accessed from a separate stairwell than the one that you are on. And it is pretty busy, but nobody's on the stage.
Interesting, an empty stage. I'll go to the bartender.
Okay, you go to the bartender and you see a Goliath in his middle years. His tattoos are kind of faded, one eye's grayed out. Wearing a leather apron. He doesn't seem to notice you at first.
I cast minor illusion to create something that's going to catch his attention. How about, let's see, he's Goliath. How about the illusion of a set of pebbles moving around in a circle near me? And because of my specification of illusion magic, my minor illusion makes sound and images at the same time.
As you do, just looks. Hold up. Oh, all right. And he looks down at you. You the one doing it, little guy.
Yep, that's me. I'm Nimrak the Magnificent, traveling stage performer.
Okay.
I see that you've got an empty stage over there. Are you looking for a possible show tonight?
Well, my last board died of the frostbite. And, so yeah, I think so. Nothing's going to be on the stage for another 20 minutes.
Oh, well, I'm a stage performer. I can do magic, or I can do the lute. I can play that. What goes around this place? What do you think people are interested in? I met a guard outside, Ollie, I believe was his name, and he seemed to be very interested in magic. Is that something that might interest people here?
Always a little simple. But magic will probably be good, as long as it's not like, oh, look, I can conjure fire from my hands. There's like 3 wizards over there that'll look at you and just throw something, because they can too. So that'll be a good show if you're going to do it, little man. What's your cost?
Well, I practice in illusions, and then I cast minor illusion. Minor illusion makes a 5 by 5 by 5 foot square of illusion of whatever I want, and I can make it sound and make images as well. So I'm going to make a copy of myself and have it sit beside me on a stool.
Nate. You didn't answer my question. What's your cost?
Oh, my cost. Oh, sorry. how about just a free room and board for me and my rabbit, and if possible, a meal.
He just nods. I'll see what I can do. It depends on what everyone else says. I don't want to give a room to someone who sucks at performing.
Totally understandable, but no. Go back to Magnificent. Well, it's in the name.
I'll get on the stage. Like I said, there's 20 minutes before the next thing will be there if you want it.
All right, then.
He then looks over. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, he then looks at you, Olabella and Langston. How can I help the two of you?
I'll put a silver down and just say, can you get a picture of whatever beer, grog, or whatever you got?
I have
A couple of rooms.
for two silver. I can get you each a room. Assuming you're not traveling together then. That way, I can get you a room and I can get you drinks and a meal tonight.
Done. I'll go ahead and give it to you.
He puts two clay mugs that are filled with something that smells very alcoholic. Then he hands you both a key that have numbers etched into the sides.
Thank you.
Food will be served in about another 20 minutes when the big show comes on. So, Nilvac.
Yep. Novak will make his way to the stage, climb him up, and let's see. I've got a few things I could do here. I could just start off with playing the lute, I suppose. No, stage magic is more than shtick. But the bartender said that there was already people who played with fire. There were wizards already that were doing fire. Let's see. Looking through my stuff here. Semantic materials. Vocal semantic, vocal semantic, vocal semantic. Oh, good night. Well. Novak will begin playing the lute and put on a show. He'll, when possible, because minor illusion is semantic in material, possibly try to make some jokes about trying to cast magic while also playing music is extremely hard to do for a non-bard.
All right, give me a... Oh, God, we got to stop doing that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Continue.
I say, give me a performance check then. Okay, they seem to be enjoying it. For the first couple minutes, they seem to be enjoying it. How do you continue on with this? Describe your show.
Okay, well, I'll introduce myself as Novak the Magnificent. I will then introduce my companion, Dr. Hopkins. And then I'm going to start off with a few cantrips. people can do a light spell, and I'll cast Dancing Lights. But there are other things you can do with Dancing Lights that none people really know. And then at this point, I will have them switch to from the 4 or 5 lights to being a light up person, a person made of. Let's also, and while this is happening, and distracting with light, I'm trying to do a sort of not sleight of hand because it's all done with magic, but I'm setting up a silent image that's a 15 by 15 by 15 foot image. And I'm going to be telling Mom about the travel here, that we ran into some zombies, and then I will use the silent image to create their visage. Try to make it a little bit more cartoony than what we ran into. And then I will use the other part of the image, because I have 15 feet of area for it, to create Obella's image and Langston's image, and how we all fought them off as I tell the story. And it's kind of artistic in a way, because there is a fight scene. It's completely silent except for me talking.
Okay, give me a performance check with advantage. Okay, the crowd's okay with it, but you hear like one of the wizards, it'd be better with sound. And then one of them looks at y'all. Langston and Obel looks back at them, looks back at y'all. It made y'all's noses too big.
I got a pretty big nose, eh?
I'm going to just encourage him in my class, and I let him get down. Moran have a good time. Everyone drink.
Roll a persuasion check for me then, Langston. Like you start that slow clap, like you're intending to get everybody built up to join in clapping you, and it just doesn't take.
Who is that? Who was it?
What'd you say?
Was that a gong?
That was, I have a trash can under my desk that has one of those foot pedals to open and close it, and I accidentally touched it.
I got you.
Well, don't have any really big spells that are really going to be safe to use here, or extravagant. I've got Dragon's Breath and Invisibility prepped. So, yeah, I guess, yeah, but this is pretty much the show for right now. I can't really think of anything else I want to add to it.
All right. So you finish out your tale. You see the bartender in the background kind of shrug and just holds up a key and puts it down on the bar for you. Seems like it was decent enough.
Okay.
It was not your best performance.
I liked it.
But real quick, what is your AC, Nilvac?
Nilvac's armor class is 12.
Ooh. So as you're going to get off the stage, Nilvac, you don't take any damage, but all of a sudden you hear a pop and you feel wrapped around your waist a leather whip, and you are pulled back on stage as you are leaving.
Okay. I am pulled back on stage.
And as you turn around to look, and what everyone else sees is a rather well-dressed drow woman comes walking out. Yeah, you're going to help me with this show, because I can tell you are a showman. of decent repute, and I need an assistant so bad this evening.
Uh-oh.
Roll to seduce? I don't know. I'm down. Let's do this.
What'd you say, Langston?
I get another 3.
But she is wearing a very elegant chain mail dress that is accented with blue and purple in different parts, and she has a very long, like, think Ice Queen from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe type, fur cloak, and she has a little horned crown that she wears. I am Madame Torrent, and tonight my assistant will help me in various acts for your entertainment. Do you say anything, Novak?
I'm willing to help. I don't know what I'm very excited for the opportunity. Thank you.
And she goes, "That's wonderful, darling. Release the hounds."
What?
And from the back of the bar, you see 2 large dire wolves come bounding out. And both of them have bright pink and yellow bows on. And when they jump on stage, they pose. She then whips the whip, flinging you, Nilvac, in the air until one of the wolves catches you and flings you to the other one.
Wow! Wow!
Neil back. Are you distressed? Do you want us to help you?
Novak will reach. See, the bunny has to be. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on this rabbit again. But if I throw a rabbit where dire wolves are, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
It seems right now the 2 dire wolves are just bouncing you back and forth. Almost, like a seal show where they toss balls back and forth between themselves.
Gotcha.
Are they using these? Or are they just mounted?
What was that, Langston?
Do you like use their teeth?
No, they're kind of like catching them on their front paws very awkwardly and flipping them back. Like, it's really weird to see, but it's also kind of impressive that someone would have taught dire wolves how to toss.
Okay. Well, until Novak looks like he's in pain, I'm just gonna watch.
Okay, well, to help out with this show, I'm going to reach into my pocket and I'm going to pull out some gum arabic and chew on it, then put it into my eye and cast invisibility.
Okay, so you go invisible as you're in mid-toss. The whole room goes quiet. They still think that this is part of the show. But you're in mid-toss, so all of a sudden you just kind of smack into the chest of the other direwolf. It flinches back a little bit because, getting hit with like 30 pounds of anything probably make you move, but it doesn't seem to react past that. As you look up, you see both the direwolves are kind of looking over at the draw like, what now? What do we do?
I then will, from behind the wizard, or the person, the actress, I suppose, I will cast minor illusion of myself walking out from behind her.
The room just starts applauding, like, oh, yeah, cool. It sounds like it's just Misty Step.
I assure you, sir, it is not, as that sound comes from my illusion.
Salt Wizard just does not seem to care.
Okay, at this point, I will use my invisibility. I'll keep my illusion on the stage, and I will sneak down.
Hold on a second, though.
Salt Wizard.
Sorry. What was the spell you just cast? Minor illusion?
Minor illusion, yes.
Okay, that is not concentration, is it?
It is not.
Cool. So what are you going to do now?
I am quietly jump off the stage, my little 30-pound gnomish body, and sneak behind Salt Wizard.
Give me a stealth check. Most of the crowd doesn't seem to be noticing because is your minor image going to be doing anything?
Oh, it'll be sort of like looking up at the drow and like sort of conversing with her as best as it can. Mostly a yes, whatever you say, boss, type thing. Is as Salt Wizard was insulting it though, saying it just misty step. Do I want to threaten the wizard? Oh, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll show you a spell that you've never seen before.
All right, what is it?
I call it Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. And as I've snuck behind the wizard, as my minor image raises his hand, I pull out my lighter and I light his robe on fire.
I'm going to argue this counts as an attack.
That's fine.
Were we supposed to not get arrested?
Roll me a touch attack.
We literally dealt with it more than this in the past 24 hours. And what do you need me to roll?
Roll a touch attack. Just D20 plus your strength modifier.
With a spell? He used his spellcasting modifier?
He's not casting a spell.
Yeah, this is a lighter. I've pulled out.
Well, the wizard's not wearing any armor because he's just in the tavern, so a 12 is enough. You light the butt of his pants on fire and become visible.
Yep, at that point, I go ahead and release the minor illusion.
And he's just like, he just looks down at you as the whole room is now laughing. The drow just starts clapping like a very elegant, noble clap, like the, elbows up and just clapping near the side of her face, still holding the whip. The two dire wolves are like, we're still standing here. We don't know what to do. And y'all see the Goliath start laughing.
I figured what they needed, just some comedy. I'm going to move away from said wizard as fast as I possibly can. I will cast prestidigitation along the way to put the fire out, and I will head back to the stage.
Okay, he seems like he wants to do something, but the kinku that's next to him just grabs his arms like, no, funny. Like, it's very disturbing to hear the kinku mimicking language. And you make it back to the stage, and as you're going back, the drow just extends her hand to you.
I take it.
And she flings you straight up in the air and yells 3 cheers for the little magician. I guess I need the roll strength to see how high she flings you. Give it a second. Nope, with a 19. You go like, yeah, she yeets you, and you're like, I'm up on the second floor level. And as you go to fall down, the dire wolves run over and form a little slide for you to slide down their back and pop off their tails. Did that actually go through?
Yep.
Give me an acrobatics check real quick, though, Nilvac. You kind of stumble, but you kind of pull it off. Like, maybe nobody noticed it. Probably did, but maybe. And then the rest of the show is her competing at magic with you. The audience goes wild. It's a great night. You are given a piece of paper that has a room number on it, Nilvac, as the drow and the two dire wolves make their way off stage.
I will go ahead and back over to the bartender and grab my key, though.
Hope you're into the weird stuff.
All right, now, while this has been going on, Langston and Olabella, how much have y'all had to drink?
I mean, probably 2-3 mugs.
I probably wasn't drinking much. I was just watching his show and the show that he was pulling.
Okay, Langston, give me a Constitution saving throw real quick. You're a little tipsy. Borderline drunk. And that is when your food is brought to you. It is a portion of some type of fowl's leg. Or you think it's a fowl. Whatever this was, it was a big animal. You know.
I don't care.
It's like you've basically been handed a big turkey leg, some mashed potatoes, some other root vegetables, and a big pile of greens.
Hell,
It sounds delicious.
Very hearty, it's cold, and you're going to burn some calories just moving like you normally would type food. Very hearty, very stick to the ribs.
yum.
What?
So, what do y'all do now?
I guess for now we're gonna, I'll eat. I assume we're all gonna eat. Go ahead and breakfast. Unless y'all want to do something else, come down, or y'all want to do.
I'm good with eating and sleeping.
We need to see if we can find out anything about either the people that kidnapped the alderman or the location of the alderman, if anybody in the area saw them.
We could. You wanna ask the general area? So I guess I'm looking for someone gambling. Maybe I can get someone to talk. Like, is there any like people playing dice or cards or anything like that?
The room is full of them.
I'm gonna go look for some particularly shady people after I eat, and maybe sit down to play. Ask if I can join. I don't know what kind of game are we talking here?
When you sit down, you see that they are playing cards.
Can I join?
Make a persuasion check. You see this, the table is 2 kinku, a human that has a eye patch, a half-elf that's trying to grow like the evil Spock beard, and a halfling that just seems happy to be there.
All right. So Oh, they gonna let me play?
They'll let you play. When you sit down, the halfling. Hi there, fella. Yeah, it's about 3 copper. We're just doing penny games.
Oh, those are my favorite. I toss in whatever I need. So what do y'all do here for fun? Is there much money to be made up here? I can't imagine with the shelf rolling in.
You just one of the kinkus. No. Fun. Just work.
Just work. Try and get y'all beer? I know the feeling.
Oh, gee, fella, that'd be great. The halfling. So to get the table a round of drinks will be 5 copper.
Done. And I'm not gonna really play to win. I'm gonna play just to get them drunk and see if I get them drunk.
Okay, so you're not.
I'm looking to make some money, and I don't really care how I get it.
Okay, so roll me a persuasion check for the first round of cards. They're very tight-lipped, especially because while you're not trying to win, you actually won that first hand and gained about 15 copper. Okay, we'll do another round. Give me another persuasion check. Okay, this one, you lose. It seems like everybody's getting their money back from the hand you just won. The human looks over at you. Well, there's always work up here when you gotta defend a town. Money can be good here in Gin, but honestly, I want to make it up to Alheim, the island to the north of us, about 3 days by ice. Oh, they always need help. Them and Hull. Those 2 towns always getting attacked. Furthest north. First one's hit by the sheet. In fact, I hear they're completely encased.
Is that normal?
Yeah. It's an island far up north. Further north than this one.
Well, is there anything unusual happening lately? Anything new? Anything exciting up here?
Well, the king. Sorry, say that again?
Go ahead.
No, finish what you're saying. I cut you off.
It's so bland up here. All we saw was snow. We were just kind of looking for work. There's just so nothing up here. I thought there'd be more going on.
Boy, the kinku kind of cocks its head to the side at you and then makes the noise of the zombies of.
That's normal. I'm used to that. You see that no matter where you're at. There's always one friend looking it up.
The half elf just nods. That's true. They're always out here, especially when the ice allows them to move from their wrecks. But other than the normal jobs, no, nothing odd's been going on here. Deal again. Make another persuasion check, and this will be the last hand of the round, or last hand of this game. So, what do you ask, Langston?
Are we all the only new people come through here? How often do y'all get visitors?
The human. Well, we get new visitors all the time. When the ice is here, people moving north to help defend the city. People like me, I'm originally from down south of the North Stock.
Okay, I'm looking for a group of 4 individuals. They left in a hurry down south. They might have taken something valuable. Y'all seen them before? I don't know. We keep annoyed. I don't know. But, I'm looking for them. And I'll take a gold piece out and I'll put it on the table. Any information would be helpful.
Honestly, I wish I could. The kinku kind of look at each other like, no, we don't. The halfling? Oh, there was those guys that had like a kid and a papoose on their back, which was really weird. But I don't know. They left like 3 days ago, or something like that.
Did they say where they were going?
No, they came through. They bought some food. They punched a couple guys, and then they went off northeast.
Northeast. Thank you, little guy. I call him cool.
He just catches it. Thanks, mister!
I relay this information, especially pointing out the fact that kids probably are a little missing happening.
Okay, while that's going on, Olabella, what are you doing? Olabella?
Oh, sorry, what?
What are you doing while he's off playing cards?
I guess I'm going to ask the bartender if he's seen anyone with the description of
The alderman?
Mm-hmm.
So you walk up, he just kind of nods at you, and then responds in giant.
Oh, wait. I know giant.
He knows you do. He just goes, cousin. There are a couple that came through. They looked odd, but I didn't see them with anyone like the little one you're talking about. Won't lie, most of the little ones look kind of the same to me.
How did they look odd?
Wolf pelts, facial scarring tattoos. Look like the people I left years and years and years ago.
So rough bunch, eh?
Yep.
But they didn't seem to have a little guy with them that maybe didn't want to speed with them. So...
Nope.
Well, thanks for the description of them, though. That does help.
He nods and coughs, slipping back out giant in the common and looks at you. All right, there. Need to buy a drink.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What do you put down on the counter?
How much is a drink?
He's not telling you.
I'll give him some.
You put a silver down and he hands you a tray full of mugs to take back to your companions.
Oh, okay. How much silver is it to a gold?
10.
Okay, so then I'd have 2 gold and 9.
Novak.
I bring the tray of drinks back. I think I overpaid, but we got a bunch.
I got some good news too. There was a group of 4 guys who came through. Did we lose? Did we lose everybody?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. No, there were 4 guys came through here with a baby Bjorn, which I'm going to assume I said a small child, which is probably the alderman, because, or at least I'm going to assume so. Because
He was a little guy.
He was a little guy. And it's the only little bit of information I got, and they said he went north.
I got a description from the bartender. He said that he doesn't really know, a whole lot about little guys because they all look the same to him, which he is part giant, so probably something to do with that. But he did say that he saw 4 guys, and they were all kind of rough looking, wearing wolf pelts and scarred up faces.
Yeah.
So they're probably the same.
I'm thinking.
You said they went to the northeast?
That's right. And they said Alhelm and a hole was that direction, and it's probably some of the first settlements to get hit by, with coming from the north. So they're basically leading him into danger.
Well, at least we have a direction now.
Novak, roll an intelligence check for me. You know that Alhem and Hole are an island to the northwest, not the northeast.
So, I'm sorry, it was cutting out a little bit. So, we're saying that the two people with the papoose, they went northeast or northwest?
They went northeast. Those cities are to the northwest.
Okay. Well,
Say that again.
I'm going to point that out to the group and just be like, well, if so these people should have been heading toward the northwest, but instead they went northeast. That seems rather odd. Is there anything out there?
I think maybe I just got confused on what direction they were supposed. I don't really know this area myself. Go ahead, Ormella.
I remember GM telling you north.
Yeah, he told me northeast. Me personally, got confused.
Well, sorry, my computer was locking up. I mean, if they're going away from civilization and they're, those rough types that live up that way, they're probably want to avoid civilization as much as possible if they're trying to get back to where they are before, the Jotun shelf comes down.
Well, I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
Could we get sled dogs?
You totally could. You just gotta talk to somebody about it and have the money.
I'm gonna approach this idea to my party. How would you feel about we get some sled dogs and maybe we can overtake them? I don't trust horses this weather or mules. But I think we need to move fast.
Didn't we start out with horses?
Nope.
We decided against it.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I really don't want to trudge all over this glacial shelf if possible. Yeah, sled dog sounds good.
Alright, so let's get a good night's sleep. We'll start off first thing in the morning. At least is that agreeable for everybody?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Hold on. I suggested that we go ahead and get a good night's sleep, and then we start off first thing.
Sounds good.
Are you going to finish the drinks on your tray? Because there are 2 for each of you.
I feel like I've had enough for the evening. I already feel kind of drunk.
I'm going to drink one and see how I am.
Give me a con save.
Close my character sheet at one point. Hang on, I don't know why.
You're a little toasty.
Okay. Everybody want a drink?
This burly, shirtless dwarf comes over. I like to drink. Only if you drink one. Slam them down. Come on.
I already drank mine. And she pushes her other one across. That's why I need to get after somebody.
He just puts one in front of you from your tray. Come on, you can do it. Big girl like you can drink with me. And he twirls his mustache.
Okay.
Okay, Millback, are you still at the table with him as this is happening?
I'm considering that Novak definitely wants to sneak off to that drowse room.
Are you taking drinks with you?
Yeah, if there was one for me and an extra one for me, yeah, I'll take two.
There's technically 4. So there's
I'm
technically.
gonna give up mine.
Okay. So you could technically be taking 4 drinks with you.
I'll let's just take 2, only because I don't think I could carry 4 in my tiny gnomish hands.
Okay. So give me another Constitution saving throw, Olabella.
Oh boy. Oh, that's pretty good.
You keep the drink down. You're still pretty buzzed, but you're like, yep, I'm done. There's still a couple drinks left on the tray. The dwarf just kind of looks at you, flicks his mustache. Are you going to drink them?
They're all yours, buddy.
Appreciate it. And he just takes them and goes.
Yep, I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay, so going to use a mechanic here that I haven't used before. So for Nilvac, I am rolling on the carousing table.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, well, that one doesn't seem to fit for what you've done. I'm re-rolling. I also need to remove the 1. Well, hold on. Let's see. What's that one? You know what? I was wrong. You don't have a 4. You got a 3. So the next morning, Nilvac, you wake up. You're in your room. You are wearing your short clothes. The rest of your clothes have been folded up and put onto the dresser. You have a leather collar around your neck. And you have a very fuzzy memory of the rest of the night. You know whatever happened was highly illegal. But you don't exactly remember what. You can't seem to get this collar off your neck. And there is an iron ring on one of your fingers.
I told you better like the weird shit.
Nilvac party's hard.
At least it was interesting.
So you now have a leather collar you cannot get off and an iron ring.
Does the iron ring come off?
It comes off.
I want to pull it off and look inside the band. Is it anything written in there?
Forever yours.
Shoot, I wish I actually remembered the drow's name now.
It was Torin.
Torin, thank you.
If you want it spelled, I got it in the chat. So the next morning, y'all are down. You have breakfast. It's mostly seems kind of like the night before for dinner. A lot of potatoes, a lot of root vegetables, a thick porridge, and a thick slab of some type of pork. You're not sure if this is bacon or if you could qualify it as like ribs. You're just not sure because it is a chunk of meat.
Delicious.
As Nilvac comes down from his room with a leather collar and a blue bunny.
I give my golf clap.
I told you they like the weird stuff.
I'll take your word for it. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, that checks out. Why are you still wearing that thing around your neck?
I can't seem to find a latch or a lock or anything.
Is it magic?
You know what? Probably would have spent 10 minutes casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
Yeah, it is definitely magical. Technically, it's cursed to not be able to be removed.
Yep. Magic Joker. That's all.
But using Detect Magic, it will allow you to cast Sending once a day to the Drow who has the other end of this item.
Oh yeah, I do have Identify as well, so I can do that. Okay. No way, I don't have Identify. But if I attune to it, then it would let me do that.
Yep. And I think this would be a good place to stop our game for the evening. Y'all have gotten some information of where they might be, might have made a new ally, and definitely got new jewelry.
Sounds good to me.
Would y'all like to try to play, or when was the next time y'all would like to play?
Well, I'm pretty much free whenever. I'm really later now. So, I could find a couple hours at each time.
I live where you, so
Yeah, anytime's really good. I don't think I have any events coming up next week. Let me see. Well, wait, no, I do. I've got something next Thursday. But I think, and I have something on next Monday as well. Other than Monday and Thursday of next week, I'm good.
All right, just message y'all. To everyone out there in Twitch land, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good night. Stay home, stay safe, and remember, wash your hands.
don't let your meat